Hello, welcome to another hot video. What's going on, guys? Derek James here with GovKid Method. We'll be doing another session of reading RFPs where I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I have no plan other than going on to Biz Opps and seeing what kind of trouble I can get into. And good thing for you guys is you kind of just get to sit back and enjoy the fun and see what kind of mess I can get myself into. So looking at a unfiltered search, as I often do, for solicitations. Today's August 26th, 2019. We are in the peak and the height of the government contracting fiscal fourth quarter. Things are getting crazy out there, guys. Hopefully crazy good, though. Don't be taking any last-minute contracts, though, that you can't price out appropriately. Don't be in a rush. I'm talking to all you 8A soul sorcerers out there. Don't just take something to take it and find yourself hurting after the fact and you have to give the contract back. That's never a fun thing. So usually what I do is I pull some things off that I think are going to be interesting to look at, possibly potential good opportunities. If anybody wants to bid them, then you can kind of get some free information from me, kind of giving you a bit of a direction as I read through the opportunity as quickly as I can. I try to weigh in and tell you if I think it's good or not, or good is so subjective, basically what's going to be required, that type of stuff. But, we never know what we're going to run into. So I pulled off two. This first one, administrative and logistics services support. This is for the MIC, Mission Installation Contracting Command. I love the MIC and I love the ACC. They have a lot of good contracts. But this is out of Fort Hood. I have some experience there. It's part of the reason I pulled this aside. This happens to be an economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business, EDWOSB, with a NAICS code of 561110. Very straightforward stuff, guys. For Research and Analysis Center located at White Sands Missile Range. Okay, well, let's take a look. Ooh, that's so ugly. I was hoping for a nice SF1449 form. This is just so... It's not the ugliest. I've seen some really bad font and text. This is just all words. It's take a little bit longer to get through. Let me see here, though. I'll do my best to unveil what this is. Well, we know we got a period of performance here. We can see that without reading too hard. Starting September 30th is the base year. They've got a Service Contract Act wage determination. Right. Good stuff. Quote. So they're telling us a little bit. I want to know what the work is, and maybe we'll find out as we read. So Volume 1, pricing shall be submitted as requested. Yeah, go figure. Proposed price should reflect a clear understanding of the requirement. It's fantastic. Volume 2, submit proof that they possess or have the ability to obtain a secret facility clearance. So you need secret clearance. They want secret clearance for this. So this could be a quick bid, no bid. If you do not have your facility clearance, then you're not going to be able to sponsor people to get them their secret clearance. So it's kind of like the chicken before the egg type thing. Submit a resume for the proposed supply and administrative technician. That meets the minimum experience. Shall have 2 more years experience providing supply ops, inventory receiving, etc. The apparent awardee will be required to submit a spreadsheet detailing all labor categories. Let's try that again. Detailing all labor categories subject to SCA. Got it. They really want you to use that Service Contract Act, and you have to. But yeah, so scrolling down, factor 1, technical, sub-factor 1, secret facility clearance. Like I said, your facility has to have the clearance so that then your employee can get that, or you can sponsor or own. I'm not a FSO or anything, facility security officer, but I have a bit of experience. So in your technical write-up, they want to see that you have a secret facility clearance, and then they want to see the resume of the supply tech. And factor 2, we're talking price. And then they go back to talking about factor 1, the technical factor. Evaluation provides an assessment to be technically acceptable, right? So, yeah. They're basically saying that this is going to be technically acceptable, likely going to be LPTA, lowest price technically acceptable. I didn't find that yet. Let me see if I can Control F that. Here we go. This is a best value source selection in accordance with the FAR. Lowest price technically acceptable source selection process. Right. So this is LPTA based off of the technical section being found to be acceptable. That's what this is. Then they have the offerors, reps, and certs. Very cool. We know how that game is played. You fill those bad boys out. It's not too hard. But I really want to know, guys. I want to know, still going through the reps and certs, how many people this is for. That's really what I want to know. And there's a number of attachments we didn't get to, so our answer could just be sitting there. I think that's how we're gonna, let me see this. Option to extend for 6 months, that's fine. We already know that, yeah. We already got an idea for the period of performance. So I will return. Got the PWS, the wage determination, schedule. Let me see what the schedule looks like. Here we go. So they took out the pricing cleanse, you guys, and they just took that out. Usually this would be after the cover page. So you'll usually like pages 2, 3, 4, and 5 would be this, but they just took it out. So, you know, I'm seeing quantity 1, which is not very helpful. Unless it's just for one person. Provide necessary to perform logistics administrative support services. And then option. So that wasn't very helpful. Unless it's just for one person. But even if so, we don't know how many hours. Hopefully the PWS has something more helpful. Because I don't have an answer for you at the moment. And that's how these things go. Good question. How can I read so fast? I have Superman eyes. Just kidding. I mean, they're giving us specific tasks here. Subtasks. I want to know period of performance, 1 year, base plus 4. We know that already. And again, just logistics and administrative mission support for track. I'm trying to find, and they're not telling me how many people or how many hours. Place of performance is at the track building. Buildings 1400 and 1401. If they're telling 2 buildings, that kind of makes it feel like it's more than one person, because how can you work at more than one place at the same time? I don't see it, you guys. I don't see how many people. So the only thing we haven't opened is the wage determination, and that's not going to tell us either. This was posted today, so it's very possible that there will be some questions and answers that come in. And some people may be asking, is there an incumbent? What is the level of effort required for this? And, obviously, I just went through everything, in 4 minutes. So it's very possible that I could have missed something. But I am fairly confident that they have not told us the number of people and the number of hours, which is what makes this whole thing tick. Yep. So we're going to move on from that one. That's the most that I can gather in that very short amount of time. And if there's something you're interested in, you can always submit those RFIs to the contracting officer and see what you can find out, because a lot of times they don't want to tell you. It's one way of keeping the incumbent is by only giving limited information so that the competition cannot price it accurately. They'll either massively go under or over because you don't really know. It's a crazy world. So this next one we're looking at is also U.S. Army MIC. I did not do that on purpose, I swear. They don't have a set aside on this. NAICS code 561920, administrative and support services. Let me see here. Fort Carson intends to award a firm fixed price purchase order in support of preservation of the Force and Family Retreat. Okay. Almost sounds a little bit like a yellow ribbon event or something. Our attachments are a solicitation and a PWS, so I will open the solicitation first. These guys are just slacking. I mean, this one's not as bad, but let's see. Preservation of the Force and Family Retreats. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Looks like a event. So yeah. Yep. Immediately we look at the pricing cleanse. They're talking hotel rooms, lodging, September 20th through the 22nd. And then the 27th through the 29th. Very good. So there's going to be a couple weekends. Quantity 37 each in terms of 37 rooms, 3 conference rooms, 3 childcare rooms. Childcare services, basically, watching the children. Meals, beverages, 1 job for the whole group, basically. And then for the next batch, it's 20 rooms, 3 days for the conference rooms, and same for the meals and the childcare services. So that tells us a whole bunch of information, like loads of information that we weren't able to get out of that last one. I was looking for something like that. If you recall, the pricing clean on the last one was just said 1, and it didn't even say hours, or it didn't say 1 FTE, 1 full-time equivalent. We literally have no idea. So now that we kind of have an idea of what this new one is, this second one we're looking at now. Remember, there's 2 attachments, the solicitation, and then I believe it was the PWS, the statement of work. So now I'm just looking at to see what do they want, like in a proposal. What do you want? So valuation to offerors. The government intends to award a firm fixed price. Got it. They want technical capability and price. That's what all that they say here. Let me see. The following factors shall be used to evaluate offers, with past performance and technical capability being more important than price. Okay, well, they left that out of the first number 1 here. It just says technical capability. So they want to know how you're going to, how you're going to get a hotel. You have to get a hotel for this. They want lodging and food. So they want to know that you can coordinate all of that, including like the child care services and the meal and beverage, all that. So they're going to want to see that in a technical capability in your proposal, and then they want to see, some past performance. So if you have any past performance where you've done anything with lodging or event, even event planning or event management or coordination, and also anything like with logistics, with things that are on a important timeline, those would all be good examples of past performance that you could use. And then lastly, they're going to want the price. So essentially what it's going to cost for all those hotel rooms, and then to have somebody providing the childcare services and making sure the hotel does their meals and beverages for both of those weekends. And then your markup on top of all that good stuff. So I don't think they are telling us anything more than that. We're looking at reps and certs, but we will take a quick look at the PWS. We didn't even see what location this was. I mean, it's saying Fort Carson, but that's just the contracting office. Let's see here. Wouldn't that be something if they didn't even give us the address or the city? So they're giving us a bit more details. So here we go. Place of performance. The event will be conducted within Breckenridge, Colorado area. So Breckenridge, sounds fancy, right? Isn't that one of those fancy places that people make fun of? I went to Breckenridge or something. So they want it to be in the Breckenridge area, and that is 2 hours away from Fort Carson. So, I mean, picture this, guys. Like, their people are coming from Fort Carson to the Breckenridge area, which is 2 hours away. So they're going to be driving 2 hours. So you're going to have to get a hotel. So I honestly, I would just go on Google Maps and search Breckenridge, Colorado hotels. So that's what we needed to know. And I'm assuming that's for both events. But yeah, both events are requested to be within the Breckenridge, Colorado area. All right, very good. Very good. We're finding what we need to find out. Event coordinator shall ensure all child care employees are capable and certified, licensed in accordance with state and local laws. I'm not sure what license they would want for the child care services. Probably some state-specific thing that maybe like a daycare or something like that they would have to hold a license, because I know there's special licensure to do that. Not anybody can do that. And obviously that's, super important if you're dealing with kids. So I would definitely, go on Google and check that out unless we find something more specific in here, but I don't think we will. Just to make sure you're following all the state requirements for that sort of thing. They give us an anticipated number of participants, which is awesome. 70 adults for the first weekend, and then 35 adults for the second. And then also 75 children for the first and 40 children. So, yep, they're giving us a lot of really good specific information, what they want in terms of the beverages and the meals. Hot breakfast, lunch, dinner, catered banquet style. Children will eat with the child care providers in the child care rooms. Very super specific, which is what I like to see. And then they talk about some of the specifics that they want the conference room to have in terms of functionality and VTC equipment and all that stuff. So that's enough about this one. We were able to gather majority of the really important information that you would want to bid something like this. So I hope you can see kind of what was missing from the first one versus the second one. The second one just really had it all, to be honest. And, the reason they all don't have it all is up to, I don't know, theory and mysticism. Conspiracy, that's the word I was looking for. Conspiracy. They don't give you all the information on purpose. That's what I think. So what else? What else can I pull off of here? Let me take a look. You know, I just have a soft place for professional services. It's always like the first thing that I pull off. I don't do it on purpose. I can look at other things too. It's just, you know, I just like it. I get all these light bulbs that go off in my head anytime I see something. The tech support analyst, you know, it's like I want to look at it. You know, audio video stuff, VTC stuff is very good. Some single trade construction stuff can be very good. You know, because even if you're just a GC, a general contractor, it's not hard to manage just one trade, one subcontractor. You get in, you get out, you get the job done, you bill, everybody's happy. That's how I like to do things. So this first one, let me see, publications, research, assistant support services. They have a lot of attachments, and I promise you I'm not going to go through them all because I don't want to. You got a professional services NAICS code, no set aside. I'm just feeling lazy. I don't even know if I want to open this. When I feel lazy, I go right for the pricing template because that usually tells you more than anything. And sometimes it doesn't. But it has the potential to tell you more than anything. But this is just a price. It's a base, option period 1, option period 2. So we know this is for FTEs for a base plus 2 LCAT. That's all that we know based on that single document so far. We see that there's a past performance questionnaire. I'm not going to open this up, but in terms of past performance, they're going to want your POCs themselves for your past performance to complete this form and then submit it to the contracting officer themselves. It's not going to be something that you submit because you could tamper with what they write about you in the form, and they don't want you to do that. They want it to be honest. That's how PPQs work, past performance questionnaires. I'm getting this bogus statement. I don't know what that's all about. What the heck? I didn't have that just a second ago. I think it's their document because then this one opened up. Okay, so we have a solicitation here. Base, option 1, option 2. That's consistent with the pricing sheet. They want publications, research, assistant support services. This says 12 months for the first, but we don't know how many hours. We don't know how many people. We know that they need to start working September 29th, 2019. So the end of next month, they need to start working. But so far, this is looking a lot like the first one that we looked at, where it doesn't tell us hours or the number of people. These are just reps inserts. You need to have this amount of insurance. Evaluation. So security clearance. In order to be considered for contract award, offerors shall be able to obtain an interim top secret or top secret facility clearance within 11 months of award of the contract. So an interim is easier to get than the full thing. Interim means that you're submitted and you're able to operate. And then once the final thing comes back and you're approved, then you have it. But everything's so backed up in terms of getting security clearances. That's why they allow you to operate on an interim. And so that's why they're putting this in here, because it will allow people who don't have that TS, that top secret clearance yet, to it allow them time to get it. They're giving you 11 months. So that means your facility needs to get the clearance level first, so that then your people working or person working can be sponsored by your company, you know, in JPass or Scattered Castles or whatever security system they're using. And then they can begin working under that clearance level. Whoa, sorry about that. But it's pass fail. So if you're not able to obtain it, you shouldn't bid on this or even waste anybody's time. But in terms of valuation factors, we have 3 factors: 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 is the technical approach and the capability. So they want resumes for key personnel to demonstrate the experience and required quals and certs in accordance with the PWS. What else we got for volume 1? They must demonstrate how the offer will comply with the government's tasks and requirements throughout the period of performance. So it's kind of general, just making sure that you can, basically you have to write to the PWS a little bit and let the government know that you understand what's in the scope of work and that your person can perform the duties. And then they want resumes. And then factor 2, past performance. We already know that there's a past performance questionnaire. So you will need to do that. And they can also pull on your peepers, your past performance information retrieval system, where they can also get your past performance. And then factor 3 is price. Proposal analysis techniques. Each proposal cost will be evaluated to determine if they are fair and reasonable and reflect a clear understanding of the requirements. For evaluation purposes, the total evaluated price is the sum of the total price submitted for A, the base period, plus the option years, plus the 6 month, plus the 6 month extension that they could choose to energize or to do if they want to. Rating methods here. So factor 1, you can get a blue, a purple, a green, a yellow, or a red. So it's not just going to be pass fail. It looks like there's different shades. So when you're putting your proposal together, you want to be blue, shoot for blue. So make sure that your proposal indicates an exceptional approach and understanding of the requirements and contains multiple strengths and risks of unsuccessful performance is low. I think they kind of worded that weird. It contains multiple strengths and the risk of unsuccessful performance is low. That's a little bit better. And then if you're determined unacceptable, the whole proposal will be considered unacceptable and you will not get the award. Table 1B, technical risk rating. So you want to be a low risk rating as well, which means your proposal may contain weaknesses which have little potential cause to the disruption of the schedule or increase the cost of the performance. Normal contractor effort and normal government monitoring will likely be able to overcome any difficulties. So that's what you want to shoot for. Factor 2, past performance. You want your past performance to essentially be the same in the scope and magnitude of effort and complexities that's required by this solicitation. And they want it to be similar in scope and magnitude within the previous 3 years. They're looking for recency and relevancy. So the sooner the better, and the closer in scope and magnitude, the better as well, the better chance you will have at winning. So as you can see, guys, this is a much more technical and thorough type of RFP and requiring the same sort of response. Factor 3, price does not receive a rating. In accordance with the FAR, the government will evaluate whether the proposed price is fair and reasonable. If it's not found to be fair and reasonable, they're going to throw you out. So they're really actually not... They're kind of doing like an inverted pyramid here. So usually price is at the top as the most important thing. They're kind of making it the least important thing. Basically, price is pass fail. So if your price is fair and reasonable, then it's fine. It doesn't matter if you're, the highest or the second highest or the third highest. They're really going to lean more on your your ratings on these tables. So you really need to put together a damn good proposal in terms of technical and past performance. So if you're not able to, say you don't have the past performance, you're not going to be strong, and your technical approach isn't that great, then you should probably not bid this. You should no bid and pass. However, if this is in your lane, if this is your level of expertise, you will probably be able to put together a damn good proposal, rather, probably better than a lot of others, and then you should probably go all in on this, because this is probably your bread and butter. And so they have proposal submission outline if you do decide to bid this. Looks like they're really giving you a lot of what you need to know, but I still haven't found the number of people or the hours. So that is still an outlier. We still don't know. That makes it a heck of a lot tougher. There's a number of other, they got an NDA. Let me see. They got the DD254. I mean, that's not even opening up, but that is usually for clearances, so that's not really going to help us. They got an OCI, conflict of interest. Let's take a look. This is the last thing that I'll look at for this one. They have some questions and answers. Let's see if there's anything that will tell us what we need to know. Does the OCI form relate solely to work that has already been awarded? Don't really care about that. Do offerors need to fill out anything in attachment 3 with a pricing template other than the information requested? If offerors have to fill out 3 spreadsheets, what are the meanings of the PWS task section? And then do offers need to fill out anything in attachment to DD254? Yeah, so the DD254 is provided for informational purposes. The PWS task sections refer to the task sections in the PWS. Labor categories refer to the category and title. Offeror shall complete all fields in the pricing. So this doesn't really tell us anything. This was not helpful. So this one you would either have to dig into more, or you'd have to submit RFIs to try to find, they're telling us 12-month base period and 2 option years, but how many damn people? What is the level of effort? How many hours? That is going to be the biggest thing in pricing this. That is the biggest thing. So that was probably more of a technical one than we've looked at recently. So, I don't regret looking at that. So, okay, here's one. Ohio National Guard building demolition. Here we go. Here's a construction trade for any of my construction type guys, but guys or gals, right? Guys or gals. There's a lot of women in construction, which is awesome. I think that's really, really cool. And they're usually really good at it too. I don't know why. I've seen multiple though that their businesses are booming. So this is for demolition. We know that. Here we go. Here's an actual SF 1449 form like I like to see. They're saying Newark demolition projects, building for CLIN 1, CLIN 2, they got storage building. CLIN 3, they got a storage building 11. Number 2 is storage building 10. Number 4 is warehouse building 12. Number 5 is warehouse building 13. So it looks like we have like 5 buildings that they want demoed for the National Guard in Ohio. Yeah, contracting offices in Columbus, and then the place of performance is going to be in Newark, Ohio. And they want to tear it down. The period of performance is going to be 270 days from the NTP notice to proceed, so that's good to know. So you guys, this is construction, this is demolition, but a lot of it's all the same. It's the same layout, the same structure. Once you've seen a few of these, you've seen most. It's not too bad. So don't be afraid of these RFPs. And if you don't have the information that you need to bid it, then just don't bid it. Move on to one that you do feel good about. Project scope. They're just talking about more specifics for the buildings. 270 days from notice to proceed. Base bid plus options. Yeah, so they want you to price out what it's going to cost to demolish each building. And I know demolition isn't always as straightforward as some people think it should be. So site inspection, the building demolition, and debris removal process will not begin until the facility is inspected with environmental office. Yeah, that's super, super important. You can't be doing anything until it's going to be safe. Fencing, salvage, and relocatable items, abatement. I mean, you don't know if you're dealing with lead or what you're dealing with. Asbestos. Footings, foundations, site work. Yeah, site work. That's true. The whole soil compaction and all that stuff. Contractor must have minimum of 5 years experience. Must provide trained and qualified personnel, resources, materials, and equipment to fulfill the requirement. I mean, fair enough. They're going to have a list of submittals. We don't really talk about submittals a whole lot in professional services and staffing, although they do exist. Submittals are just the things that you have to submit within a period of time throughout the project. Some of them are right at the very beginning. They may want like some sort of quality control plan or management plan. In construction, it's different, and there's usually more submittals, and it's more crucial to getting the project going. So they have a list of submittals here, which, if you're in the construction field, I mean, that's normal for you. That's nothing new. Permits, all good stuff. Security requirements. None are required at this time, so it's good to know in terms of a clearance level. None is required. Waste management guidelines, that is there for when you need it. And we've got the form for it. Yep. It's a lot more forms. There's a lot more involved in construction contracts. They have a map. A couple maps. Oh, okay. So that one looks a little bit better. So they're giving you an aerial view. They're going to be giving you square footage. Instruction to bidders. You are invited to submit a response to our IFB invitation for bid. Set aside 100% for small business. A complete bid package will contain A through G, which is a standard form. All line items must be priced. When we saw those, the 5 different buildings, they want priced out individually. They want a bid bond, your reps and certs, acknowledge all amendments, and mark the front of the envelope. So this does not require like some long drawn out proposal. It does not seem. It looks very straightforward and rather simple in terms of the response required for this. There's going to be a pre-bid conference and site visit, which is going to be crucial to bidding this thing. And yep, they're giving you the POP is 30 September. Obviously, it's going to be once the notice to proceed is when the clock is going to start ticking, and then it's going to be 270 days. So whether you're going to work through winter or you're going to get a stop of work. It's Ohio, so there's snow and ice, and you're not going to be able to necessarily do stuff in those conditions. I don't know. I'm not a demolition expert, but most work, even like, driving vehicles on the roads and all that, you have frost laws and stuff like that prevents you from moving heavy equipment. I'm not sure how that may or may not affect construction in the winter for something like this. I don't know how large the equipment has to be, but frost laws are a real thing up here in the north. So that one's not too bad. That one was kind of cool to go through. It's nice to see a construction, even though it's just one trade, demolition. If you're in that field, then this may be something to go after. Seems rather straightforward. You just have to obviously attend the site visits and all that good stuff. So cool, good stuff. This last one, I'm not sure what we're going to find here. This is for the Air Force. This is that A41 Tech Support Analyst. I did open it. A 541990 professional services NAICS code and just a small business set aside. We have the solicitation, the statement of work, the DD form 254. And they've got a questions and answers here, a wage determination and an amendment. So real quickly, we can take a look at the solicitation. Sweet, another 1449. So they want tech support analyst services for, let's see here, 12 months, and then option 1, option 2, option 3. So it's a base plus 3. Yep. They want the work to start September 28th. And then the place of performance is going to be in Hurlburt Field, Florida. And then the core, the contracting officer representative, looks like it's going to be this Thomas Wall. And there's his name and his phone number. Some clauses and reps inserts. Is that all we have? Instructions to offerors, which is important. Quotations shall contain the following: RFQ number, time specified for receipt of quotations, name, address, all that good stuff. Quotes. Quoted prices must submitted using the pricing schedule on the standard form for 1449. That means they want you to fill out the pricing cleanse at the top. Yep, and then the technical offer must provide a resume and a letter of intent to hire of proposed individual to fulfill this requirement. At a minimum, the resume must address the following: a associate's degree with at least 1 year experience working in an office environment, or a high school diploma with 4 years experience working in an office environment, as well as B, work experience and ability to perform the specific requirements in this statement of work. So this is not them telling us hours or anything, but at least by them telling this tells me it's for one person, because it's just the wording and the verbiage that they're using, and it's probably for just one full-time person. And then the evaluation, let me see. The first 3, the lowest priced responsive offers, shall be evaluated for technical acceptability. In the event that the first 3 do not yield, the evaluation process will continue to the next lowest price. So basically, they're going to take the 3 lowest, and then they are going to compare those 3. Total evaluated price plus the total evaluated price for option 1, option 2, and option 3 is how they're going to come up with your total price. So they're going to add the base plus the option years together. And then the technical, they're basically, yeah, and then the technical is going to either be acceptable or not acceptable. In order to be technically acceptable, you must meet those resume and those experience requirements. And then whoever's going to be the lowest price is going to win, and they're going to win this contract. So rather straightforward, except again, I wish I had something from them telling me the number of hours or, the number of people. This is one of the last things I'm going to look at today. I'm going to take a look at the questions and answers. So they give you an occupation code, Secretary 2, with the 01312 will be incorporated to the solicitation. So that's, what you can price this out at. It is saying that the government requires a fully cleared candidate for the proposal submission. So somebody asked about secret clearance. So it does appear that you need to have secret clearance for this. We didn't see that in the RFP. Is there an incumbent? Okay, so this is super, super helpful. The current contract number is this. The contract was awarded to SA Technical Services Inc. for $51,000. There is no CBA. So the fact that it was awarded for $51,000, I mean, that's not a huge amount of money, and that will probably be reflected in this occupation code. So that's really good. And then yes, perfect. Should the annual hours be based off of 2080 or 1920? 2080. So 2080 is a full year of one full-time equivalent person. So we know that this is for one person. This is exactly what I wanted to see. And you know what the existing contract is for. So if you can do the job with secret clearance, it looks like they need. But we would have to verify that. But based on the Q&A, it looks like it. Then if you can do it for less than this, you will be extremely competitive. So that's awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to see. The offer must have a facility clearance to be eligible for contract award. Yep, so you have to have that facility clearance, so that you do need secret clearance. So awesome. I'm super happy to go out on that note. So this is for one person to work for that base and those option years at Hurlburt Field in Florida. All right, guys, losing my voice here. So I hope you found this cool and helpful. And, you know, I like to do these exercises just to show you how it's not that difficult to read through these things. You know, we went through a number of them today, and, you know, less than an hour. I think we went through 5 of them or something. And we got to the core of all of them really in a short amount of time. You know, it's going to take you some time to get up to this level, you know, of speed. And obviously, if this was something I was bidding, I would spend more time and double check my reading and going through it. But what I like to do is, you know, do quick bids and no bids. And then I like to tee things up to see, you know, where I stand with them and if it's something that I want to bid. So being able to go through them like this is really helpful. It allows you to get to you know, the right opportunities that you do want to go after for your GovCon business. And you know, just the more that you read these and you learn, you get to see things again and again, and it really like paints a picture. And at that point, it just gets a whole lot easier. So until next time, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to like the video, share me some love, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well. Lots more videos coming. So until next time, guys, we will see you and stay busy.